undead, where evil lurks in every shadow and monsters roam the streets. Mankind's only survival rests in the hands of two Welsh warriors, armed with boomsticks, chainsaws, bad language. These beacons of hope will stop at nothing to obliterate deadites, vampires, psychotic nurses. So, hold tight, strap in, and let the professionals take charge. Otherwise, you're in for a rough, blood-soaked night.
Yay! We're here. Oh, how's it going? We did
2
it.
seconds.
Yes.
My screen is stuck on the
No,
end of Twisted Lock.
We got 12 watching. Well, I'm honestly like
give me problems.
Yeah, we're chuffed. I'm chuffed. I was so. What? Can you not hear me?
Yeah.
I was so gutted we had to ditch Wednesday, but there's just nothing we could do with it.
I spent an hour. It was more than an hour because I was on from like half hour before we started trying to get it to work, and then like an hour after.
Yeah.
I was ready to burn the world.
I think if you'd come on, you would have just been a broken man, and
you're muted. Oh.
Am I muted?
No, you're not now.
Oh, I'm not muted.
No, you're fine.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I think if you'd come on after, like, I think you would have just been pissed off all the way through the show.
Destroyed, yeah. We would have lost subs over it.
You had your top off, like a swing in the top.
If people thought we argued, they'd see another side. Nasty arguing.
Yeah. What's going on then? Are you all right?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Yeah, good. I caught up with Mobland this morning. Have you been watching it?
I've got today's episode to watch.
Today's episode's class.
Yeah.
It is brilliant. And do you know what I love about it? Everyone I speak to is watching it.
Yeah.
I haven't had that with a show for ages. It's usually like people on season 3 or 7 or whatever. But this is like, I can't wait to watch a Sunday. It feels like old school TV watching.
Yeah, I love it. I was going to wait for it all to come up. But you know what I'm enjoying more than Mobland, Jenks?
What?
Landman with Billy Bob Thornton.
Good recommendation by me.
It is, because my thing with this one is, right, and I was saying to my girlfriend the other day, there's shows that come out that you love, you like, you want to follow, and maybe if it doesn't get a season 2, you're not that fussed.
Yeah.
Honestly, right, 3 episodes into Landman, I was like, this is the show.
Yeah.
This is like, I'm not saying it's going to be as good as Breaking Bad or is as good as Breaking Bad.
There's need to be.
But I got the same feeling when I first watched Breaking Bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, all the characters are great. The story's brilliant. It flows really well. I love the location.
Yeah.
And I haven't had that feeling with a series in a long time. Like, you just jump in, you're there straight away, 4 episodes in, and I'm invested fully.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And how hot does Ali Latta look? She's 50. She looks incredible. His wife.
Yeah, no, I know who she is. She's a bit of a horror icon, isn't she? She's in a fair few horror movies.
Well, she's in a couple of Final Destinations, and she's in a lot of the Resident Evil films. I think that's about it. And yeah, she looks great. Like, also, she's in Legally Blonde.
Oh, piss off, Jenks. Look at that, right? The second you mentioned Legally Blonde, I seen 5 people drop from viewing. 5.
No, they went off to watch it.
Let me say hello to people then. Let's see who we've got. We've got Tyler Adams. What's happening, Tyler?
We're back.
Jill says, hi, Curtis and Jenks. Hi, all. Hi, Palf Wendy. I don't even know if Wendy's here. Yes, she is. Wendy's here. Jill, I've actually set it up on my big screen. Save you looking at it on a small screen. You get to see my face 50 inches.
Oh, Jesus.
We've got Ben Davies. What's happening, Ben?
Are you right?
We've got Hugh Hackridge. It's that Sunday night horror time.
Yes, I was going Hugh.
That's what we want, innit?
I love it.
Ben says you're on time. You're on.
We're always on time. when
I
we don't
said,
have technical problems.
Because we haven't got technical problems, I said, let's go live a minute early just to make up for it.
And, you know, in all fairness, some people are fashionably late with no technical problems. We are always on time when there's no issues, isn't it? Bang on.
Oh, absolutely. We've got Palf.
Hi, Palf.
We've got Wendy. Evening, Kurtz and Jenks. Ab Fab, Jill and all. Ab
Fab. Great show.
Ab Fab. There's Tyler. And we've got Batshit Scary. What's happening, pal?
Hi, Batshit.
Right, Jenks, what are we doing today?
We are doing ranking the most scariest horror films ever.
Jenks, what? This was the laziest live we've ever had. We come up with this idea yesterday, and we just set it up today. Oh, what should we do? Rank scary movies. I don't know. No prep whatsoever.
Yeah. Do you know what we need to do, Kurt? And we should have done this anyway, but we're honest people. We need to have about a few weeks worth of already set up and already in YouTube.
Well, that's your job, innit, Jenks? You're the live man. Don't say us. Don't drag me down with you. If you're not on top of your chores in the podcast, that's on you.
Before we start, I dropped a video on Friday because I watched Final Destination 6. There's a solo video, not because I've got a big ego, because Curtis couldn't watch it, but check out the video. Spoiler alert, it's fucking awesome. Not the video. That's subpar.
That's debatable.
Yeah, no, I'm not bragging the video. It's me on my own. The film is awesome. Yeah, just want to say that. And
I'm in Italy when it's released, so I've got to wait. Jenks.
Oh, honestly, there's not a lot of.
After watching your 5-star review, well, it hasn't made me more excited for the film because your opinion means nothing to me. but I am looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a really good.
Do you remember a time when you used to give a movie 5 stars and it was exciting? Oh my God, Jenks, give a movie 5 stars. This is going to be the greatest movie ever made, and then Presence comes out.
Do you remember when you used to give films 5 stars and I used to cry like fucking hell?
I still do.
Right? Are we ready? Are we ready to do this?
Yes. Let's do it. Do you know what?
What?
We're going to be finished before 8 o'clock tonight because we're not half hour late.
Well, yeah.
Done in 20 minutes now.
Yeah, I know, and I think we always think we strive to do 90 minutes. But we only do that because it just happens to be about 90 minutes every time, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we're done in an hour, 2 hours, whatever. Anyway, we got 20 of the scariest horrors ever. There might be a few that's not on the list. Some we haven't seen. Some we've forgotten. I'm happy to add some if a few pop up in the chat because it didn't take me long. But anyway, we are ready to go. So,
can you believe what my mother said earlier, Jenks? She said, I hate it when you do tier rankings because I know it's going to be 2 hours.
Not tonight. I haven't had my food, so we'll be quick as we can. I'm starving. Right, you can kick it off, Kurt. Oh, first up, The Woman in Black. Now, this is the original one.
You got to say the titles. What's on the side there, Jenks? Come on.
Sorry, Kurt. Yeah, right. Okay, so lowest on the rank, the least scariest is Casper. Not very original, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm sure we've used it before as well.
Yeah, who cares? Next up, slightly scarier, Goosebumps. It can be a parody of the show or just in general, it's giving you goosebumps. Next up, somewhere in the middle, is Piss Your Pants. Okay. Next up is I'm clearly running out of ideas here. Brown
Running
Pants.
out of steam.
Brown Pants, and the top tier, the scariest of all, is Shit Your Pants. So yeah, we've basically just got 2 shit ones. So brown is slightly less than Shit Your Pants. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's the best I could come up with. Anyway, who cares? Okay, so The Woman in Black. This is the old ITV one. Came out 97. I don't know when did it come out, Kurt?
Oh God,
Demara. It's not the Daniel Radcliffe one anyway. So it's the other one.
We're not here, right, to tell you what year's movie came out. We're here to tell you how scary they are.
But this just happens to be the first on the list. These are not in order. So, Kurt, where is this bad boy? This is not the Daniel Radcliffe one. Remember that?
Yeah, it's the original one. It's not a movie, but who cares?
It's a TV movie. It's still a movie.
Yeah,
it's still a movie.
Yeah, he was in one. So first up, and that's going straight at the top of the list.
Shit your
This will
pants.
always be and has always been the scariest movie I've ever seen, and and I'm not saying that it's not scary anymore, but a lot of that lends itself to how young I watched this movie. When I watched it, I wasn't really exposed to any movies like that. I was watching Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all these big fun slasher movies, and I thought, well, I'm a horror guy now. I can watch any horror, and I was probably about maybe like nine or 10 watching this, and it absolutely destroyed me. And I mean, like PTSD. I can remember we had it on DVD. My father had it on DVD.
Yeah.
And the next morning, the DVD player was still plugged in, but the TV was off. And when I turned the TV on, the menu came up, and it's her on the DVD menu staring at me.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Jenks, that scene, right? When he wakes up in bed and there's that young girl talking to him, and he finds a toy and he's talking to her, and he's like, oh, is this yours? And it's just that shift from him talking to this girl, and then you can feel like you see a shadow and you can feel the presence there.
Yeah.
And then her shrieking over him, coming over him on the bed, is the scariest scene ever put together, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's nightmare, if you will.
Before I do my ranking, I'm going to say hello to Jordan, who's joined us. Jordan Moran.
What's happening, Jord?
He's dealing with a nippy 5-year-old, but still listening. That's awesome. And we've got Gina. Hi, Gina.
Hi,
How's it
Gina.
going?
I said hello to her today. Just to let you all know, guys, I've got control of the comments again, so no one will be missed. All right?
She says, don't forget to send the like button some love. And one more comment. We got Hugh Huckridge says, Daniel Radcliffe, Woman in Black, was so atmospheric and really underrated. Yeah, definitely a good show.
Oh, spot on, Hugh.
Right. I think this is excellent. Okay. Not quite shit your pants for me because I'm a bit tougher than Curtis, but I will put it in brown pants because I saw this a lot later. So I was already a grown up. I didn't have any. I understand the creepiness, especially that end scene when she's hovering over the bed. That is genuine nightmare fuel. And there's something about low budget British horror. It's just eerier. It's not as slick as Hollywood, but for some reason it feels a little bit more visceral and a little bit more disturbing.
And because it's a TV movie, the budget's lower, so it looks a bit more grotty. This one,
yeah, like a found footage almost.
Like even the Daniel Radcliffe Woman in Black, that's got a Hollywood sheen to it. It's got a budget behind it. It's got well-known actors in it.
Yeah.
It's still creepy, but this one, I don't know any of the actors in there. It was filmed for TV, so the budget wasn't there. It's just, everything about this film is just fantastic.
Yeah. So next up, we've got.
Look at this. Let me read this quick, Jags. Ben says, Kurt, I remember how petrified you was of this film. My missus was the same. After I showed her this film, she had to wake me up in the night to take her for a pee.
I love it.
It destroyed me.
Next up, we've got The Others. Now, I'm a big fan of this movie. I think it's underrated. It's not underrated in the sense it was a flop or anything like that. It was well known. You had Nicole Kidman in it. You had Christopher Eccleston. It's a big cast. People loved it, but it's kind of forgotten. I think when people list horror films, it's kind of lost in the mix. I don't know why, because it's so atmospheric. It has one of the creepiest jump scares ever when the little girl has got the face of the old granny and she's like, I am your daughter. It's so fucking scary.
Christopher Eccleston, that was a big word for you, Jenks.
Christopher Eccleston, yeah.
You've been practicing.
Only because he's well known. Do you know what? When we do our reviews, it's always French directors, and I'm like, oh, not a new one. How can we never do like Steven Spielberg? The set that just like rolls off the tongue. James Cameron. I'm gonna put this in shit your pants. Now, it doesn't make me shit my pants anymore, but I do remember being terrified I wasn't a kid. I was about 20 when it came out. And when you've got all the sheets over all the furniture and the door gets locked and you look and the camera angles and you don't know what I think the sheet moves and you don't know if it's a figure behind it. I think it's like even like when they find the Book of the Dead, not the Evil Dead one, where they got photos of dead people, families. it's so disturbing, and it's got one of the best twists ever. So yeah, I love this movie. What about you, Kurt?
I like it. It's a cracking film. Now, if we were ranking it on how good it is, it'd be up in the top 2 tiers. But in terms of scariness, it's never been one that I've remembered being scary. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's not one that's had a lasting effect on me. And I would have been young when I watched it. I'd probably put it in Piss Your Pants. But yeah, it's a great twist.
It is, yeah.
Overshadowed by Sixth Sense, unfortunately.
It was, you're right. Okay, so hang on, we got any comments? No, okay. So next up, one of your favorites. Talk to me. Where's this going, Kurt?
Yeah, I've said this many times on the podcast. I had a fantastic experience watching this one in cinema. Kind of left me speechless.
Yeah.
And I was surprised at how scary it was. Now, I wouldn't quite rank it with the scariest movies ever made. I would say it's more intense than terrifying. The intensity of this film is unmatched for me. I've never felt intensity like it in my life. But I would put it in Brown Pants. I wouldn't quite put it in the scariest movie ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen it a few times now, and I get that same feeling every time I watch it. But yeah, intensity top tier, but scary a little bit down.
Okay, I really like this film. I like it a lot. I'm looking forward to the sequel. Scary, I would say maybe Piss Your Pants. I don't remember feeling scared. It's difficult to gauge it sometimes because we watch a lot of horrors. We kind of primed to certain frights. So I'm trying to think of it like more than just my experience and everybody else's, because but I would say, yeah, definitely Piss Your Pants. Not that I would piss my pants watching it, but yeah, I would recommend it if you like a scary film. I think my daughter was scared, so I think that's worthy of that.
We should get Tyler to do our tiers.
Yeah.
Full post-mortem evacuation.
Yes. Well, I was gonna do shit all over the wall. No, that scene from Dirty Grandpa. Dirty Grandpa or Bad Grandpa?
No.
The Dirty is Bad Grandpa, where he shits over the wall in the cafe. That's the idea I had. But yeah, you wouldn't think I'd written all these books when I can't think of these tier things.
It's mental.
What it is, Kurt, you can't set this up too early, see, because it won't let you save it. So I tend to do it right last minute. I suppose I could write them down ready, but it's not something you can save. This tier maker is pretty shit. And if I clicked it off, it'd be gone. You can't. It's fucking crap.
We've spent too much time now talking about tier maker. Let's get to business.
All right. Back to business. The Descent. This is going straight into shit your pants. This is absolutely terrifying. It's putting aside the horror and the fear of being wedged in an underground cave tunnel, potholing. Why would anybody in their right mind go fucking potholing? Now,
oh my God.
I know I've jumped a replay. I've done a parachute jump. I've done a bungee jump. I do get that some people would say, why would you do that? But there's a thrill. How can you have a thrill about crawling through a narrow space? Like, I'm not even claustrophobic, but that is just fucking dumb. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's honestly shit like that haunts me. I wouldn't say I'm extremely claustrophobic, not to the point where I couldn't be in like a small room. But I would say I'm quite claustrophobic. I cannot watch videos of people cave diving.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I struggle to watch The Descent. Like I said when we were talking about this movie last week, you can take one of the elements out in this movie, the monsters or the cave diving. They're both equally terrifying in their own right. And like we've said many times, Jenks, one of the greatest British horror movies ever made.
But is it scary?
Yes, it is scary. Now, for me, ghost movies have always been scarier, so I wouldn't put The Descent top tier. I'd put it in Brown Pants, because it doesn't quite scare me. I'd say I get more of a thrill out of this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of falling in love with these tier titles, actually, when I'm hearing them spoke out loud.
I'm really serious. I'd put this one in Brown Pants.
Yeah, it's just a great scary film, and when the monsters first turn up, it's really frightening, and it's more frightening than people realize. Like yeah, maybe for today's standards, it's not as scary, but I remember shitting myself when you see the monster for the first time in the lens of the video camera. It's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
special. Yeah, very
It's so
special.
good. I love the blood pool in it as well.
Yeah. How like honestly, like I love the fact that Neil what's his name? Neil Marshall, um, just from Dog Soldiers, which had charm, went from that to The Descent. The guy must have learned so much in that set because he absolutely nailed his second film.
Oh
Honestly.
God, yeah. I wish he kept the momentum of The Descent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember The Lair coming out. It came out a few years ago, and everyone online, or at least I wouldn't say people who had seen it, but while it was being made, it was being called The Next Descent. It was his full return to horror, location based movie with one monster. And I was so disappointed, James.
I haven't seen it.
Do you know the excitement I had for that movie because everyone was saying like this is Neil Marshall's full return to horror. Yeah, it was really.
Didn't he make another film called Demonic, or is that somebody else?
No, that was Neil Blomkamp.
Oh yeah, I always mix them up. Yeah.
Yeah, Demonic.
He's a bit like that as well. He did that. He did District 9, one of the greatest sci-fi films ever made, in my opinion. And he just, I don't know, he just lost it from that point.
I haven't liked one of his movies other than District 9.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Elysium's a complete dud. I think it's got a fan base. I didn't like it. I don't really buy Matt Damon as an action hero.
Yeah.
I may get lynched for that one because of the Bourne movies, but I don't buy Matt Damon as an action hero.
No, I just realised now, which one of the Neils did the Hellboy reboot?
Neil Marshall.
It was Neil Marshall.
Yeah.
If you look into Game of Thrones, some of the greatest episodes were directed and possibly written by Neil Marshall. So he did the one where they're all trying to get over the wall, the battle of something. Easily the best episode, and yeah, it was him. He's done great episodes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think he did about maybe a big bunch of episodes. Anyway, next up we've got It Follows, and I'll kick this off. Oh no, you kick this off. It's your turn.
Right, before I start, I will say I'm a huge fan of this movie. I've seen it a fair few times now. I was obsessed with it when it came out. The soundtrack is outstanding. I can remember buying the soundtrack because I wanted to watch the movie again when it was in cinema. And I needed a hit. So I can remember buying the soundtrack for this one, just the soundtrack. I can remember buying the soundtrack for this one just to get a hit of it. So I'm a big fan of this movie. But it's never scared me. Now, it's not a movie I consider to be terrifying. There's a few scenes in it that are unsettling. You've got the old woman in the school following her. Horrible. And you've got that one jump scare where her sister's knocking her bedroom door and then the tall man swarms through. And there's a few moments in there that make you shudder. But overall, I wouldn't quite call it a terrifying movie. I'd probably put in Piss Your Pants because there are a few great moments.
Yeah.
But I don't think it keeps that momentum throughout the whole movie, quite like some of the other movies I would put higher.
I am going to totally disagree with you. I think this is scary as fuck and horror at its best. Everything. It's not just for me about the jump scares. It's the tone and the eeriness. When she first runs away from something, I can't remember what she runs away, and she runs to the park and she's on a swing. The atmosphere of that park where it's just silent and the wind, it's so terrifying. You don't know, and she doesn't know where the thing is going to come from. She's just literally like in the only place where there's a wide open space. And like you said, that tall man coming through the door is one of the scariest scenes ever. I'm going to put this on Shit Your Pants because let's be honest, none of these films are going to make a shit of pants.
It's just a figure of speech, innit?
No, I know that. I know that. What I mean is,
you don't have to say like, "Oh, I won't actually make you shit your pants."
No. What I mean is, it's very difficult for me to get scared. So for me, I think it's firing on all cylinders of how to make a scary film, and for me, it's top tier. But yeah.
Fair enough.
When the fuck is that second one coming? I think the Ray movie's going to come before that. They Follow. It's in.
Well, I've heard 2026 now, but I wouldn't say it's completely dead in the water because Micah Monroe has come out and she's talked about it. So I think it's definitely happening. But you'll be surprised, right? What happens with these is they announce a movie and then you won't hear anything about it. But then they'll drop a 5-minute teaser trailer out of nowhere.
Yeah, and sometimes they drop information out just to get money for it, just to spark interest. Just want to say hello to Trevi McTrev. What's up, dudes?
Hey,
Love
what's
it
happening,
follows.
Trev?
How's it going, buddy? And Tyler Adams says, finally watched It Follows on a plane ride back from Disney World. So good. That's Disneyland. Yeah,
you've just come from like one of the most magical places in the world, and you're just on your way back home on a plane watching It Follows.
Yeah, he's probably depressed coming home because he's just bankrupt, probably because Disneyland is so expensive.
Because he paid $80 for a hot dog.
I honestly like those like years for like like for girls with the like 18 euros or something like that. It was something that would cost like £1. 18 euros, taking a fucking piss. Anyway,
mental.
I know. Right, next up, I'm gonna kick this off. So a very rare thing. I watched this before you, and I banged on about it, and you watched it, and it's Hell House LLC. I think you saw it pop up. I think you're aware of it, but you thought it's just another throwaway sort of, one of those things that when you're searching for films on Amazon Prime horrors, and the further along the line you go, it goes worse and worse.
Because there was like 4 of them, and they all had similar posters. So I thought, shit.
Yes. Hell House LLC is absolutely going in shit your pants. I honestly look, I'm kind of done with clowns, and in all fairness, this came out before like the Terrifier and stuff like that. But it is these clown statues they got in this sort of what is it, a hotel, isn't it, with all these dummies?
Yeah.
And sometimes the dummies have turned the other way, and it's so simple. It shouldn't be that scary because it's very basic horror. Like, oh, the head is moved that way, you haven't seen it move, but because it's found footage. And because it's down the cellar, oh my God, you feel so vulnerable.
It's because the setup's so good as well. Like,
so good.
The scares only work if the rest of the film works. You can't make like a shit film and then chuck a scare and everybody's like, oh my God, that was an amazing scare. Like,
totally.
From the second this movie starts, it's great. I think it's one of the best. I put in my top 5 favorite found footage movies. I think it's
easily
fantastic. It flows so well. It's so creepy. And the first time I watched this, Jenks, I'm going to say it, I shit my pants.
Yes! Does that mean it's going in shit your pants? Get in there.
Do you know what, right? I would say 90% of found footage movies go in shit your pants. I am the ideal customer for these movies because I really do get drawn into that aesthetic. I really fall for the trap. Not that I think they're real, but I really do get pulled into these worlds when they're found footage. There's not many found footage movies I've walked away from and just thought it was utter shit. If they haven't been as good as some others, I've still got enjoyment out of them because of the aesthetic. Yeah. It's just something I always gravitate towards. It's something I've always loved. And it's a big reason why I'm so forgiving when it comes to VHS movies, Yeah. There are weaker ones in the franchise, but I just love found footage.
Yeah, they're gritty.
I absolutely love them. Yeah. And I think Hell House shines. Jenks.
Shines.
John Moran says, I have a film called Detention from Taiwan that I'm looking forward to watching. It's supposed to be quite scary. Noroi the Curse was a great Japanese scary found footage movie. Now, Taiwan gave birth to the sadness, so I'm sure that film's going to be fucked up. But I'll check that one out, Jod. Definitely.
Before I forget, right, if anyone's in the chat has seen one cut of the dead, is that what it's called? One cut. Is it one?
Yes, there's a film, One Cut of the Dead.
Yeah, nothing to do with this now, but it pops up all the time as one of the best zombie movies ever. And I think it might be found footage as well, actually. I haven't seen it. I just hear good things. Has anyone in the chat seen it? And what do you think of it? While we're doing this,
yeah,
have you seen it, Kurt?
I've seen the poster many times. It's got that yellow poster.
Yeah. It looks. I think it's a bit of a comedy as well.
Yeah. I've never put it on. I don't know why. I love my
but it
foreign horror.
pops up all the time, like top 20 best zombie movies, and it's found footage as well. And I haven't watched it. Right, next up, we've got The Exorcist. What do you think of this, Kurt?
So I think it's a fantastic film. It is one of the greatest horror movies ever made. Again, with It Follows, this one's never had the effect on me as it's had with other people. I came at it the wrong time. I watched it a bit later in life when I'd already seen much worse. I know a lot of people older than me that witnessed it when it came out. Obviously, you're going to find it a lot scarier. I've always just watched it and enjoyed it for being a great horror movie.
Yeah.
I would put it in brown pants because there are some horrifying moments. And it's got that... It feels cursed. It's got that feel throughout the whole movie. It's just a great movie. I wouldn't quite put in shit your pants, though.
I just want to read... Dawn has just joined us. Hi, Dawn. How's it going?
Hey.
Dawn Keat. I'm late again. I was writing a review for a book I've just finished. I hope it's my book. Hell House LLC scared the crap out of me. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. And Trevi McTrev, see, when you ask, you'll receive. Trevi McTrev says, they did the movie in one take. It's awesome. Are you talking about one cut? I'm guessing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes, yeah. One cut of the dead. Well, one cut. Yeah, that's what makes sense. Right. So for me, I know I'm sticking a lot in shit your pants, but this is going in shit your pants. This film is.
Oh, you're a bit of a baby, you.
I am a baby. I love this movie, right? It is every element. Look, it hasn't got jump scares, and I'm not a jump scare snob. There's a place for jump scares, and obviously people overuse them, but there's nothing wrong with jump scares. In fact, there's a jump scare you could in The Haunting of Hill House in the car where Nell, what's the girl called? Nell jumps out. Now that could be classed as a cheap shot, of course, but sometimes it works, and sometimes you don't mind a cheap shot. But there's overuse. But with The Exorcist, it is so disturbing and so like, whenever she has to go into that room, you're just tensing up. And yes, it's, like, again, she's stuck to the bed, but she doesn't know what she's going to find. That image of what's his name? The demon Pazazu. The flashes. I know some of the flashes were only in the director's cut. And most of them were, but this film is so frightening. My mother watched it when it first came out, right? And I think she was about 20 or something like that. And it really affected her, as you could imagine it would have, because this film is disturbing even to today's standards. And my sister had chickenpox, and her face was covered in chickenpox. Her hair was in disarray, and she came in the room saying, "Mommy, I feel ill." And my mother went, "Ah!" Yes, I throw holy water. Get out of here. Yeah. Well,
Brilliant.
You know my mother's a bonehead.
Yeah. Bonehead.
But yeah, it's going in shit your pants.
Yeah, do you know what? I appreciate it for what it is. It's a fantastic horror movie, but it never quite had that effect on me,
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So
this next one,
it's my pick, boy.
Oh, go on then.
Nothing matters. Insidious. I'm gonna seem like I'm a baby, but I'm gonna put in shit your pants. Look, this film is top tier scary. It's it's so frightening. Like the demon is a little bit too demony, the red faced man, whatever he's called.
Lipstick face.
Lipstick. Is that a nickname or that's a shit? Is that what his, I don't know.
What's
but
his name?
When you see him later, he's a bit too demony. But that first jump scare is one of the best. Like, I know it gave it away in the trailer, but it is still top notch. But the bit that scares me the most is when she's looking at the curtains, or people are walking by, and there's some guy peers from the curtains. That's absolutely horrifying.
I remember this movie coming out, and one of the scariest experiences I've ever had. I've watched it countless of times, Jenks, and it has the same effect every single time. This is probably the scariest movie I've ever seen, and just because of where I was when I watched it, how old I was, and how well it's aged,
Yeah.
it is absolute nightmare fuel. I've got a thing with old people in horror movies, only when they're made to be scary. I'm not scared of old people in real life, but it's always been scarier when you've got someone who's a lot older, and you've got the woman in black in this one.
Yeah.
Or the bride in black, I think they call her. Or him, if you've seen the second movie.
Oh yeah, she's a dude, isn't it?
Yeah, the bride in black. That opening scene of this movie where the camera is going through the house and then it goes to her face before the title comes up is horrifying.
Yeah.
But you know the bit that kills me the most is when you can hear something on the baby's walkie-talkie and she goes in the room and you can see the man standing behind the cot.
Yeah. Honestly.
There's so many moments in this movie that destroyed me when I first watched it. Oh my God. And what James Wan does well in this one as well, he's like, oh, I'm going to show you things in the daylight and it's still going to be terrifying. Like when they move house and she's outside and she looks in through the window and you see a kid in her living room dancing to Tiptoeing Through the Tulips.
Yeah.
And it's broad daylight. She's doing normal things. She's doing her washing and that. And even that scene is terrifying. And everything in this movie works well because the setup is great. It doesn't let go. So whatever he does to in this movie, it works because you're invested, you're scared, and you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic horror movie. It's one
Where's
of
it
my
going?
favorites.
Top tier?
Yeah, top tier.
I
would
agree.
drop every other movie from the top tier to keep it on there.
I agree with everything you said, and you're right. There's something disturbing about being scared in the day because the day is usually your refuge. You can escape the night. Once the day comes, oh, thank goodness for that. But when the day is still fucking scary, there's no escape. Absolutely horrifying.
Yeah. And I think that was James Wan showing off. He's like, I've got you all, and I'm just gonna start throwing shit to you in the day now.
Totally.
And what I love about this movie the most as well is the great play they have on the haunted house. Now, you would think it would be a regular haunted house movie, and I love it when Elise says, it's not the house that's haunted, it's your son. And I love this story they came up with where, like, he's, what's it called, an astroplane? What's
Astral projection.
Astral projection. And he's obviously in a coma, so he's just in a constant state of I can't say that word.
Astral projection.
Astral projection. I love that because it's just showing how much of a good writer James Wan is, in my opinion. Or Lee Winnell. I don't know how much James had in writing, but
Don Keats says, did either of you watch the Exorcist series? I think they did 2 seasons. I love the series. I just wish they'd done more. I haven't seen it.
Didn't bother. No.
Was it meant to be shit, or I don't know why?
Well, it's got a fan base. I think Linda Blair came back for it.
Right.
It has got a fan base. I know there was petitions online to get a 3rd season, but I think 90% of the time movies to series don't fare well, especially when they're horror.
Is it a sequel series or just a spin-off?
No, I think it's a sequel series. I think Linda Blair's in it as Regan.
Tyler Adams says, Granny S. Preston Esquire from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Yeah, the one who wants to kiss him. Yes, with the hairs. Wasn't it? Was he dressed up? Was he I think he played the Granny, Alex Winter, didn't he?
Oh, I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, he did. He was the Granny. I'm almost positive. Tell me in the chat. Yeah, I'm sure he dressed up as the Granny.
Can we all agree, though, in the chat that old people in horror movies are terrifying?
Yeah. Don't slag off old people. You're very ageist, Curtis. Come on
Asshole protection.
Jordan Moran says the first season of Exorcist was actually good, but never seen the second. Do you want to read this next comment, Kurt, before we move on?
Dawn says, Insidious, absolutely love them. You remember when the medium is in a tunnel, there are suitcases in there, she looks above the suitcase, and then the demon's in it. Yeah, oh my God, there's so many great moments in this one.
Yeah.
And the second one as well. I don't think it's quite as good as the first one, but again, great scares in the second one. I know you hate that one, James.
I hate the second one. Let's not go in there. Right. Next up, we have got.
Right, calm down, Grumpy. No, let's not go there.
Well, it's just shit. Fucking crap. I hate it. Paranormal Activity. Now, I really like this film. I think it's it's a really creepy found footage. It has some really creepy scenes, especially when she gets dragged out of the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I would put this personally in brown pants. Not quite shit your pants, but it's still a creepy movie. But a lot of it is just a lot of waiting around.
For me, when I first watched it, shit your pants. But because for me personally, some of the sequels are far superior.
Yeah.
2's better than 1 in my opinion, and then 3 is better than 2 than 1. And then the series does drop a little bit.
Yeah.
But the third one for me is one of the scariest movies I've seen, and I'd put the first one probably in Brown Pants. It's a great horror movie.
Brown Pants is going in.
Give me Brown Pants. If I don't leave that theatre with brown pants,
I want my money back. Excuse me, sir. I didn't have brown pants.
Look at these, white. Not a speck of brown on them.
Just piss.
And that's nothing to do with the movie. Look, I don't quite shake my drips well.
Look, not even goosebumps. Feel.
Feel them. No one bump.
Trevor McTrev says, I always conflate Insidious with Sinister. Yes. Forget which is which. It's easily done. I think the titles are quite similar and they came out quite close to each other, I think.
Well, because of those two movies, there was Insidious and Sinister. Well, I made, because I was really into those when I was in uni, I made a short horror movie and I called it Ominous. Because I wanted to fit into that category, you know, and it was about a girl being haunted by a demon, you know.
There's a title trend. So that was like a trend at the time. And a lot of books come out in the last few years with the girl with the so-and-so, the girl with the boy with
the boy with the brown pants.
The brown with the hey Kurt, was it me or did you see Conflict there when you read it?
I seen Conflict,
Anyway, did we do that one? Okay, so you can kick this off. The Shining.
Yeah, so The Shining is absolutely top tier. I think it's one of the greatest horror movies ever made, but we're here to talk about how scary it is. And I think this is one of the... I wouldn't say like Insidious scary, because it's more like underlying dread, psychological terror. I think you've got to be a lot older to actually appreciate how scary this one is. Yep. I think if you watched it when you were younger, it would go over your head. Maybe you'd find it boring. And I think I was quite similar to that when I was really young, but watching this one as an adult, and you can appreciate how actually terrifying this one is, how creepy the tone is, Jack Nicholson's menacing performance. I still wouldn't put in Shit Your Pants, but it is one of the best horror movies ever made. I'd probably get brown pants from this one. Like, my daughter's been asking to watch this one. I've shown her a fair amount of horror movies now, right? We watched The Thing last week. She loved it, and she's always wanted to watch The Shining. I had a massive poster of The Shining on the wall, and she's always like looking at that one. And I just said, you know what, you won't even enjoy it at the moment. You need to be a bit older to appreciate this one. And I think because of how psychological it is, that you've got more chance of having nightmares. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like subliminal messages.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put this in Shit Your Pants. I remember watching this on TV, and I was very, very young. I mean, my sister were watching
box TV as well.
It was, I think it was even like a black and white
static
TV.
Lines.
It was. I remember it was quite slow, but I think years ago you were kind of used to slow. Like, you know, I grew up watching Indiana Jones and stuff like that, and I watched, it was on last night. I thought, God, this is really slow. I think you were just primed to watch slower films before. I think everything's faster now. So I didn't mind it being slow, but I remember putting aside the obvious scary moment with the with the old granny again.
I told you.
And a naked one. Yeah, that scene is the top tier horror, but it's
Do you know it's
the
creepier because she's sitting in a bath?
yeah. I think you still get.
There's no water in it either. She's sitting in an empty bath.
Isn't it? Then the
No.
pretty one comes out of water though, doesn't she?
Yeah, well, look at her, man. Her skin's all moisturised.
Yeah. I take my chances if she looked like that. Even if I looked in the mirror and I was snogging a zombie granny, but if I still saw the fit one, I'd be like, I'm just not gonna look in the mirror. Right. Look, even the image of the twins in the corridor, and when it flashes to them being like slaughtered, it's proper scary. So it's got to go for me in top tier. It's got to go and shit your pants. Got to. And yeah, do you want to read this one, Kurt, before we move on?
Who says Paranormal Activity reminded me of the haunted experience I had walking from a girlfriend's house through the woods in the early 90s. Didn't shit myself, however, I definitely had turtle's head. Near as damn it, close to shitting myself.
I love the details, like early 90s, as if like, oh, the 90s, it was creepier back then. Yeah. Do you read a couple more before we move on, Kurt?
Yeah, let's have a look. We've got Jordan. Yeah, Jenks, as a kid, I thought nothing of watching Once Upon a Time in America, which is above 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's a great film, Jord. What a fantastic
and
film.
even me now as an adult, I've still like, God, this is slow. I'm even like it's sort of fast-paced horror. It's kind of infected me as well.
John says she's in a bath of her own piss by the looks of it. Well, piss has a lot of healing properties, so she is probably bathing in her own piss just to clear some of that.
Well,
skin she's got.
the sores she's got. No, it's like an antibiotic or antiseptic.
Well, I seen for the first time ever a couple of weeks ago. There's a photo on set of them two lying in bed together smoking a fag.
Oh great. Yes,
Jack Nicholson and her.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Insane.
Right, next up, we've got Sinister. Now, I'll kick this off. I like this film, okay? At the time, I didn't like it.
I like this film.
Shut up. Look, I do like this film now. When I first watched it, I wasn't that keen. I thought it was fine. But the problem I had with it was some of the jump scares were not aimed at him like he was walking, and you couldn't see the dead kids. So it was just for us to see. And without him being scared, I wasn't scared. And I'm going to stick this in Goosebumps. It's going in.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
You're way off with that one, boy.
Way off. It's a good film. But also as well, I think the monster, the demon, whatever he is, he just looks like a rock star. He's not scary to me. Like
Bagul,
yeah. He just looks a bit silly to me.
I'm on the complete opposite spectrum to you with this one, Jenks. I'd put it in shit your pants.
Shit your pants?
Yes, shut your mouth, right? Let me speak. You put some crazy ones in shit your pants, so leave me have this one, right? This is another one, right? Another great cinema experience, and this one is terrifying because of how unsettling it is. The tapes he finds in the attic, and you see all these horrific murders from all different people that have lived in the house. Found footage again. I love my found footage, and I'm the complete opposite to you, Jenks. I think the monster in this one, Bagul, is great. I feel like if the second one wasn't crap, they could have made a good franchise out of this one. Obviously, not everything has to be a franchise. Not everything has to be a franchise, but I think the first one is extremely solid. It's extremely creepy, unsettling. Yeah, some of those tapes that he watches, oh my God.
What's
the pool one?
What's the lawnmower scene is top tier of like, oh my God, even when you know it's coming, I've seen it a few times. It does make me flinch.
Goosebumps is way off there, pal.
It's Goosebumps. Look, I can't put in Casper because it has got a good lawnmower moment, but yeah, overall it's not very scary. Yeah. And that's it. What's wrong with the second one? I've never even attempted the second one because I've heard such bad
things. It just falls flat, Jenks. I mean, pointless talking about. If you don't like the first one, you're not going to like the second.
No, I do like the first one. I just don't think it's scary. I do like it. In fact, I've grown to like it more. I think at the time when it came out, we had a big choice of horrors, and it kind of fell flat for me. But then I watched it when there was nothing to watch, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I was pretty hard on it. So is the second one like the same format, different clips?
I watched it once when it came out. I don't know. I haven't retained much from it.
Yeah. Look who's just dropped in. We got Davy Deathrays in the house. Happy Sunday, everybody, and happy Mother's Day to all the amazing mums out there. It's Mother's Day in America, is that right?
It is.
I didn't know that.
What's happening, Davey? Thanks for jumping on, pal.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, he tried to jump on Wednesday, but we had technical issues, and I was gutted. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to Davy Deathray's channel, he's got an awesome channel. He's got awesome guests on all the time. He had Cody Leach on last year, and that's top tier guest.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
awesome. What a bag.
Yeah, awesome. He says, make sure you hit that like button and show our boys some love. Kurt and Jenks are the best dudes. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
back
Davey.
to you, dude.
You're awesome.
Right. What are we on now? Right then. Oh, now we're cooking. Right, you can go first. The Conjuring.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite horror movies. I think The Conjuring 1 and 2 are both insanely terrifying. I think Conjuring 2 is just scarier, maybe a tad.
Oh, wait there. Wait for that.
Shut up. Let me speak, right? I'll say what I want to say, right? And I'll speak about The Conjuring 2 when it comes up, right? But I'm just saying, Jenks, I think Conjuring 2 is a smidge scarier.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, again, what an insane cinema experience this one was. James Wan, again, just... What's great about this one, right, is that most ghost movies, the less you see is better. And that's why I always found Paranormal Activity terrifying, because you don't see the ghost. And it's always the fear of the unknown. What is this thing? Where is it? And what's it going to do? Now, same with Insidious. You've got The Conjuring. He just throws everything in your face. You see the activity. The monsters are extra. And it's still absolutely terrifying. You know where they are at all times because you can see them. But again, the setup in this movie is phenomenal.
Yeah, so top tier, shit your pants. I will agree with you. I'm going to put it in shit your pants as well. For some reason, I didn't watch this in the cinema. I don't know why. I watched it on.
That's insane.
I know. I'm sure I remember watching. Yeah, I could be wrong, but for some reason I got memories of watching it on the TV, and I just thought this film doesn't do anything that hasn't been done a million times. But that's what makes it brilliant. He just does everything right. You know, it's got a woman with black hair, ghost. That's been done a million times. He's got a creepy house. He's got a big family. He's got based on a true story. But do you know the clapping moment is so frightening.
Yeah.
And you've got the scene. It's such a simple scene, but it invokes those feelings when you had as a kid when she's looking at the dark corner of the room and she goes, something's in the corner of the room. You don't see anything, but it brings you back to when you're a kid, of like, the longer you stare at something, the more
you start to see something.
You start to see something. Your eyes will play tricks on you. And that is better than any jump scene, any monster scene. That just works to me. In fact, if I were to make a horror film, I would always include like staring at something, like, is there something there standing and you can't quite make it out? I love it.
But then he shows it to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, that scene where it's on top of the wardrobe, again, is so out there and extra. It shouldn't be as scary as it is. It's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. John Moran says Britain looks scary and colourless in films when you realise, oh shit, I live there and it's the weather. Yeah, totally. Yes, right. Is this the first one we agreed on? Oh no, we got a couple here.
I wouldn't mind being haunted in America.
I think it's what's worse. Anywhere in Europe is always scarier because we've got a richer history. It goes back further, and it's something creepier about sort of the medieval and all the way through, I think, especially right, next up we have got yes, now we're talking. We have got the Babadook. Now this is going straight in to brown pants. Yeah, you thought I was going to go on the top tier then, didn't you? This film is absolute nightmare fuel. Don't listen to Curtis. It is absolutely one of the scariest movies ever. The Babadook creature is terrifying. The noise it makes is horrifying. And when it floats over in bed, it is so nightmare invoking. and I don't know why Curtis has such beef with this film. I think he just doesn't understand it. I think, just has got a problem with it.
Casper all day.
Oh,
Shit
fuck.
film.
Oh, you used to be
Casper.
mean now.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I don't
I
believe
got
you.
no enjoyment out of this movie, which means the scares didn't work for me. When the scares came, I didn't give a shit.
Oh, Curtis. Right, you
Maybe-
should watch it again, Curtis, because you're
I'm all
outnumbered.
right. I'm all right. I'm all right. I know what I like, and I've got a strong taste in movies. If I've watched a movie and I really dislike it, there's not much chance I'm going to enjoy it.
But you really disliked Friday 13th remake.
No, not as much as this.
I think you'd enjoy it if you watch it again.
Nah, I'm all right.
Look,
I'll probably never watch it again.
Just watch Street Trash one less time and watch this instead. That's 90 minutes. You haven't lost anything. You were going to watch Street Trash anyway. You haven't lost 90 minutes. You were going to watch.
Do you know what, Jenks? I think people are sick of you talking about Street Trash. I never bring it up. I don't care.
I think it's funny that we can always kind of work it into every.
No, not we. You always work it in, right?
Yeah, well,
it's just a movie that I like, and in fact, I don't like it as much as you think I do. It's just a film that I really like, that I've watched a lot of times. I would never bring it up as much as, like, I love hundreds of films a lot more than I love Street Trash. But
how many times?
For some reason, you've gravitated towards that movie.
Because it's the worst film you like, I think. It's got to be.
It's not 100%.
How many copies do you have of it?
About 8. I don't know.
There we are. There we are then. That's the end of that. Right. You put it in Casper. That's just being mean.
Yeah, I have.
Where's Barry? Where's Barry from Wolfman's Got Nards? He'd be on my side.
I am sick of horror movies. Just using horror as what I don't even care to talk about it. Just using horror as some sort of issue for mental health. No, it's a good message. I'm not saying anything about that, but just give us a really good horror movie of a good monster. And I just feel like it was held hostage by her grief. Do you know what I mean?
Look,
it's a horror movie about grief.
No, I think she did that, okay, because she thought, I don't want any sequels, so it's not going to be that kind of film. Although
you're looking into that too much.
Saying that though, did you know that the director of Jeepers Creepers made up the 23 days thing to stop sequels being made? He didn't want a sequel. And then he realized, like, it was popular. I thought, oh, actually, I could make a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, there's some love here. The kid in Babadook, who Uckridge says, is scarier than the ghost.
That's not love, James.
Okay, yeah. I read it too slow. I should have read that.
Look, I'll say one last thing. You have no right liking this movie as much as you do. No right.
I love it. You're wrong. Look, John Moran says, never stop watching Street Trash. When's the watch along? I'd love to do a watch along of that shit.
Do you know what, John? I will be doing one on my solo channel when I go solo, right? And every time I go live with this guy, I'm getting closer and closer to starting my own channel.
Yeah. Look, it should just be themed of Street Trash.
Oh, I will. My idea is it's going to be all movies like Street Trash, Toxic Avenger, Street Trash, any movie where someone melts.
That film is coming out. Finally got a distributor.
I know, August.
Yeah. Right. The Sixth Sense, Kurt.
Oh my God, shit your pants all day. One of the scariest movies ever made, and not just scary, pure brilliance. Great performances all round. Slow, unnerving dread throughout the whole movie. One of the best twists of all time. And yes, some of the scariest scenes ever. I watched this one really young. I can't remember if I watched it before Woman in Black or after. But again, this is one of the movies in my childhood that tormented me.
Yeah.
I remember my mother maybe renting it on VHS or buying it on VHS and just let me watch it. I think I watched it in my room on my own. She probably didn't realise what type of movie it was. And I can remember watching this one on my own, and oh my God, that scene where he wakes up in the night to go to the toilet to pee.
Yeah.
And you can see the temperature drop and he starts to get cold, and you know something's going to happen, and then that kid runs past the door.
Yes.
I'm getting goosebumps now talking about it. And there's so many scenes in this movie that scarred me when I was young. It is horrifying.
I was lucky enough to see in the cinema, and before that film, there was slim pickings of horror. There was
Yeah.
certainly one horror that was scary, like Event Horizon came out the year before, and it's a great movie, obviously, but it didn't scare me that much.
Yeah.
But when this came out, and again, the jump scares were, and you got the dun. Yes, it's a bit cheap these days because they overuse it. But back then, it was kind of new. And I remember I was with a girlfriend at the time, and I was squeezing her hand. And when I can't remember the actress's name, when she comes out of the tent and grabs his leg, oh my, Misha Barton, I think her name is. It's so frightening. But yeah, that scene where the kid walks across and he's got a chunk of his head missing. It is one of the most frightening moments ever.
I wanted more of him helping people. So you've obviously got that scene where he goes to that young girl who had died.
Yeah.
And obviously her mother was poisoning her and she got sick and sick and sick until she died. And then that scene, right, where she's under the bed. Oh my God. Horrifying.
Yeah,
because she looks ill as well.
Yeah.
And even when she's in the tent and she's got puke coming out of her mouth, it's horrible.
And the tent is popping. It's not a zip. It's like buttons or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. But when he goes there, and then obviously he's talking to her because he's basically learned that, like, I think these people won't help, and you can help them because you can see them.
Yeah.
So you've got a chance here to, like, help people in the afterlife, help them rest.
Yeah.
I wanted more of that. I want a film where it's him helping people, you know, helping ghosts.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen more than that. But again, it wouldn't have been as scary then. Do you know
I don't know.
If he just accepted them.
I don't know how much help he can be with that kid with half his head missing. Yeah, you got shot, mate. No, he shot himself.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Job done.
Oh, and do you know the woman as well who he thinks is his mother when she's in the kitchen?
Yeah.
In the kitchen?
Yeah,
and she turns around and her wrists.
Yeah, it's really good.
God.
I agree with you, Kurt. I'm going to stick this in top tier. Shit your pants. It is nightmare fuel. End of sports. So next up is It, the 2017 version.
One, yeah.
I would have put the other one in, but it's a mini series. That's why I haven't included Salem's Lot. I think this should go for me. I wasn't that scared at a couple of jump scares. It's a very good film, but I wouldn't say it's that scary for me because I'm a hard ass. I'll go piss your pants. Piss your pants for me.
Do you know what, Jenks? I'd go a bit lower. Now, I'm a huge fan of this movie. I've got a massive portrait of Bill Skarsgård's It.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love this movie, but it has never scared me. I never thought it was going to scare me. I don't think I even need that from the movie to fully enjoy it. I just think it's a great horror movie.
Yeah.
But I'd put it in Goosebumps. I have no fear of this movie. I just think it's a great horror.
There is an amazing underrated moment in this film in the library with that woman standing smiling in the background.
I didn't see that for the first few watches. I think I can't have seen it the first few times.
It is honestly, again, if we ever make a horror, I need something that's so in the background that you don't notice. It's like, oh fucking hell, she's just standing there staring. It is horrifying.
I love it when they make you look for the scare, and they did it brilliantly in Hereditary when she's lying in bed and there's someone in the corner of her room and you don't see it for ages the first time you watch it, and when you finally see it, because it lingers there for a few minutes, it is terrifying.
Yeah.
And the last time I watched Hereditary, showed it to my girlfriend for the first time, and I obviously knew that scene was coming. And I was looking at her every 2 seconds, waiting for her to notice that person standing in the corner of the room. Yeah. And then, soon as you see it, that hit you get and that scare, it's untouchable.
Do you hate when you've seen something before and you're putting it on for somebody and you're waiting? It might be a joke, like a funny moment or a horror, and then they just look down at that exact point, think, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Yeah.
They look at their phone or they scratch. Right. Next up,
the screen.
We've got Blair Witch, and this is Blair Witch 3. I haven't included the Blair Witch Project for some reason because I didn't find it that scary. I should have put it on, but I couldn't be bothered.
We're all sick of you talking about Blair Witch.
Yeah. Blair Witch 3. Although you do talk about this a lot.
I'm a big fan of Adam Wingard. I love the first half of his career. He's gone quite Hollywood now, directing Godzilla and Kong and all that. I wish you would just go back to horror. Get Simon Barrett back, right? Write a great horror movie and come back, because his first few movies in the horror genre have been fantastic. And I'm a big fan of this movie. I watched it in cinema and I absolutely shit my pants.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted the Blair Witch to be. Now, a lot of people may disagree with me because how little you see in the Blair Witch makes it scary, and that finale, it's you don't see anything, but sometimes, like people say, the less you see, the scarier.
Oh, totally.
But this one, it shows you everything, and that's what I want from a horror movie. I don't care about the less you see, the better. This just gave me everything I wanted from the first one, because by the time I watched the original Blair Witch, it was already a cult classic movie. Everyone was always banging on about it, and I just never got it. I never understood it. I never really got scared by it. So when this one came along, I jumped on it, and this one delivered the scares.
Where are you putting it?
Shit your pants.
Shit your pants, eh?
Yes, boy.
Right. I really like this film. I think it's very underrated. One of the most underrated films. For some reason, people shitting on it when it came out. It's not just like being forgotten. It was kind of shit on. I think people the first one so beloved that people just was unaccepting of this one, because it was very much like a standard horror film. But again, who cares? The second was so shit. It was like almost like a non-horror film, like a non-movie. And this one was just such a nice relief. I wouldn't say it shit my pants. I'd definitely put it in brown pants. I'm saying that.
Do you know, right? They hired, I think, 4 different writers to write 4 scripts for Blair Witch 2. So no similarities. They just said, write a script for the sequel, bang it out quick.
Yeah.
And that's the script they went with. So I don't know how bad the other ones were, but that's the one they picked.
It's a really weird film. It's not just a shit film. It's fair. It's like I said last week, I think, or the week before. It's very similar to the way like The Exorcist went, where the second one is a weird, strange sequel that they kind of rushed out or whatever. And then the third one is a return to form. The second Blair Witch I saw in the cinema, and it came out exactly a year later, and I was enjoying it up to a point, and then it just went so strange, but it didn't make any sense. So it was like the people watched the first one, wanted to go to the woods because it's very meta, isn't it? And the first film exists in that world, so they go to the woods, and then this is what happened to these people, but it's like a normal film version. But it was made a year later, so it didn't make any sense. But anyway, I would definitely put this in brown pants. It's a very good film. If you're precious about the first one and you've been avoiding this film, I would say don't avoid this. It's a cracking horror.
Yeah, give it a watch.
Do you want to read a few comments, Kurt, before we move on?
Yeah. Let's have a look. Ben says, what, they're actually doing Toxic Waste.
I think he means Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Avenger scene of running over the kid on the bike scarred me for life. Oh my God. There's a scene, right, where there's cops investigating a scene and they're all eating tacos, right? And they're like leaning over dead bodies eating tacos. It is ridiculous. But then you've also got a scene of a little kid being run over and his head being squashed. It's such a contrast. It's an absolute grim movie. I love Toxic Avenger. You'd hate it. Ben says, Avenger got sweets in my head. Lol. Tanner says, damn, what a great film. Probably on about It, maybe. I think that's the last film we were talking about. John says, I have to say I'm shocked the first Evil Dead not included. I probably shouldn't have watched it at 3 or 4. A great film to watch with headphones on. Absolutely speckled your boxer brief.
Speckled boxer shorts, I like that.
Unfortunately, John, I'm not in charge of what movies get added to this. So
what are you talking about?
I let Jenkins take the hit for that one.
Don't even go there.
Jordan says, Adam Winger's next film is back to his roots with Michael Bain in it. Yes, I'm sure you've mentioned that one. I did look it up. I look forward to that one. Let's have a look.
I saw somebody have a picture with Michael Bain the other day.
Yeah, he was at one of the Comic Cons.
It was somebody from a YouTuber that we follow. Was it like Barry or somebody?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember.
Ben says, I've not seen that Blair Witch. Get on it, Ben. It's a cracking film.
Yeah.
We've got Eli Cortez. What's up,
Eli.
James Curtis and all you Twisted Nights? Fashionably late, but we're glad you're here, pal. Thank you for jumping on. Happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there.
Yes, awesome.
That's mad, isn't it, that it's not Mother's Day over here? I feel like I'm missing out now.
I wonder, like, why can't they just make it the same date? You know, what's the point?
I know.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Right, next up, we have got Host. Now, I absolutely love this movie. I absolutely, genuinely shit my pants when it came out. It came out during COVID, and it was such a nice relief to watch something during that time. And it was an hour long, which was perfect because there was no like filler. It was a little bit slow at the start, and a lot of chatty sort of people talking over themselves. But it went to absolute terror from like about half an hour in, and it was relentless from that point. It didn't let up. It is one of the scariest movies ever. It's a shame this director has not gone on to do anything after it that's worthy of watching.
No, he followed up with Dashcam and then Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Two relatively weak movies. I don't hate Dashcam as much as you, but it's very annoying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Jenks. I'm a huge fan of this one. I actually had a row with someone, right? And I'm not overhyping this movie now. If anyone in the comments hasn't seen it, it may not scare you as much as it scared me, but I did shit my pants watching this
I did as well. It's terrifying.
Yeah, like you said, I remember this one coming out in lockdown. There wasn't many movies to watch. And then this one comes out of nowhere, gets chucked on Shudder, and I had hell of a surprise with this one. It's one of those rare movies that comes along and it just blows you away. I think it's fantastically made. It's terrifying. And yeah, I literally had a row. I think I recommended it to a girl I used to work with, and I went into work the next day, and she was like, "You bastard! You bastard!"
Just for our American watchers, a row means you had a telling off.
Yes, telling off. So I had a proper telling off.
Yeah.
Because she shit herself. And yeah, this is an insanely impressive movie. It's all set on a laptop. You've got a few girls. They're doing a Skype session. And like most people are doing as well, Jenks, we were doing quizzes with our friends.
Yeah,
everybody was getting on Skype together doing quizzes, and they wanted to do a seance. And 4 friends get on the seance with this woman who runs it, and they piss off the ghost, and it starts haunting all of them. Yeah. It's a fantastic movie. It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. We got Ice in the house. I think I know who this is. I never liked the Blair Witch. It was more of a comedy for me. If it's math,
laughing.
He's talking about the original Blair Witch. He is not a fan of that film. Fair enough.
Yeah,
right.
I'm with you there. Ice.
It's not a comedy. Come on. Right. Next up,
yeah, like what in it is funny? Do you know what I mean? Oh, look at that guy! He's standing in the corner.
He's taking a piss.
Oh my god!
Right, Conjuring 2.
He doesn't know what's going on.
Conjuring 2.
Am I allowed to talk about this now, Jenks? Is that okay?
Well, you've said everything you needed to say, so you've had your chance.
Right, Conjuring 2. I've said this many times, right, on this live, but it really is one of the scariest movies ever made. I went to cinema to watch this one with my oldest brother, right? Yeah. And he threatened to walk out of the theatre because I was screaming so much. And he was genuinely getting embarrassed. We were in a packed cinema. I think it was like the first day it came out. We went to see it opening night because I was such a big fan of the first one. We're in a packed cinema, sitting in the middle row. We got people either side of us. And there's like 4 or 5 times in this movie where I have screamed out loud because it's such a shudder. Yeah. And then I think about on the 4th one, he was like, "Honestly, if you keep screaming, I'm gonna leave." He was like, "I am gonna leave, right?
So,
You're a grown man." Well, when did the movie come out? I'm 31 now.
Was it 10 years ago now? It must be close to 10 years.
Yeah, maybe 20, 21, 22, maybe.
You were way too old to be screaming like a girl.
Well, I get immersed. I get immersed in these movies. But, and I'm the ideal candidate. This is what I always say, right? Is people always say, "Oh, I don't watch horror movies because they scare me." And like, you're the people who should watch horror movies. Like, fair enough if you don't enjoy being scared, but you should want to watch these horror movies because you get that reaction. I'm jealous of people who are like, petrified of any horror movie. I'd love to watch any film and be terrified, but these are the movies that scare me the most. But there's one scene in particular where she goes up to the TV and that Bill Wilkins is behind her and he just says, "My house."
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've never screamed so much in my life.
Where's it going in? Shit your pants?
Yes, shit your pants all day.
Yeah, I'm a big...
yeah, like we've said as well, it's set in Britain, and it's set in, what, 70s Britain?
70s Britain.
Extra grimy and horrible.
Yeah, what I love about this movie, putting aside how scary it is that you're right. It's set in the 70s Britain, and it doesn't sort of like glamorize the 70s. Especially like if you watch like a film, American film, the 70s, everyone's on roller skates with like afros and things. And for the most part, people were very poor. It was grimy, dirty, even in America, and certainly in Britain. And it nails it. You feel uneasy just from the time period. But some of the jump scares, there's a jump scare that is given away in the trailer where all the crosses are turning, and this thing, and Bill just comes out of the wall from nowhere. He has such a creepy voice. Who would have thought like a Cockney voice would be creepy? This is my house. It's so frightening.
It's the gaggle he does when he's talking. You can hear that he's ill. Do you know what I mean?
And
that chair, like, because his chair is still there in the house in there, and that's the chair he sits on. And the thought of that, right? Just this horrible ghost just chilling. Yeah. And even when you find out that, do you know what? He's actually not a bad guy.
Yeah, he's a good boy. He's just got bad teeth. He's got bad British teeth.
Do you know what? He's not a bad guy.
Isn't it a fucking shame that The Conjuring's gone down the fucking toilet?
Do you know what, Jenks? It is my biggest heartache that James Wan has abandoned the Conjuring franchise.
Yeah.
The Conjuring 3, like I've said many times, I was so disappointed watching that one. And this Michael Chavez, I don't know why they keep hiring him, Jenks. He directed La Llorona, Conjuring 3, The Nun 2, and now he's directing Conjuring 4. It's a massive shame because every single movie that he's done, I think, have been an absolute dud. I don't think he knows how to set up a scary scene.
Yeah.
None of his movies have induced any sort of terror from me. And I feel like they keep hiring him because he's a sure thing. I don't think so.
I wonder if it's just that he's cheap. Just like
maybe, I don't know. But
keeping budgets low.
James Wan knows horror. That guy, right, can direct the hell out of a horror movie. I think he understands horror so well. He understands monsters, how to set scenes up. I think he's one of the best horror directors out there.
Yeah.
Yes, he's had some misfires, but the majority of his horror movies for me have been perfect. If not perfect, definitely scary. And I've said it many times, I wish he would just do the Conjuring movies. He has to do those.
Yes. And it's hard, I suppose. He wants to move on to other things, but yeah, I agree. Eli Cotter says, yeah, when Jenks is sick, he sounds exactly like Bill Wilkins. Right, next up, we got 2 left. So I'll kick this off. The Ring. Now, I absolutely love this movie. I do remember it being terrifying. It's not quite as terrifying on second viewing. But it is a very frightening film. I will put this in brown pants because when I stuck it on for my daughter, yes, she was only 14 at the time. That jump scare when you see the devastation on the dead kid's look, the sort of haunted look, and it's a big flash where like the face is all distorted. It's a really good jump scare. Yes, it could be classed as a cheap scare because it's just a face thrown at you, but it is still great. And when Samara comes out of that TV, oh my God, it is proper scary. But I wouldn't say I'd shit my pants. Definitely say piss my pants. Brown pants.
Yeah, I think the original, the Japanese one, is a lot scarier. I would have put all the J horror movies on this list, but I know you won't have seen them.
I've seen the Ringu, first one.
Yes, yeah, okay, but yeah, a lot of the other ones as well. That is Nightmare Fuel. Dark Water as well is another great one. But yes, I am a big fan of this one. I would say it scared me more as a kid. That hasn't translated that well to adulthood. I think the lore and the mystery around this film is what's scarier. The whole mystery surrounding the movie, obviously Samara is terrifying, and just the concept of 7 days, like you watch this tape and then that phone call, I think is such a great concept. Yeah, I've watched this one as an adult a few times, and it doesn't scare me as much as it used to. Ringu still terrifies me. Oh
Yeah.
my god,
Um,
it's horrifying.
this,
But
yeah.
I would still put it in Brown Pants. I think it's a cracking scary movie.
This was my second date with my wife, Ring.
Really?
Yeah. So the first date was like a pub, and second date, Ring. Yes.
Yeah. My first date with my current girlfriend was Evil Dead Rise,
Yeah, perfect.
which was a great first movie to watch.
Unfortunately, my third date was House of the Dead.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's funny because my girlfriend hadn't really been exposed to horror movies before we got together, and she was genuinely worried about going to see Evil Dead Rise
Yeah.
because I'd already seen it and I was banging on about it to her. And then she's just sitting on the couch then 2 years later watching The Sadness.
my wife won't watch Evil Dead Rise. I stuck on Evil Dead 2013 for a few years ago. She goes, "This is too
much,
brutal. I don't like it. It's too much." She likes horror films, but she doesn't like violence, and she won't even bother watching Rise.
Do you know what? I've just had Evil Dead 13 shipped from America. It arrived 2 days ago. I haven't watched it yet, but I can't wait to see that movie in 4K.
Yeah. Hey, save it for when I come up. Come on.
No, you're right.
Right, where are you going to put Ring? Have you
I
said?
put it in Brown Pants.
Brown Pants it goes.
Yeah, Brown Pants. Okay.
Right, last up, you can start this one, Kurt. Hereditary.
Yeah, Jenks, I'm a big fan of this one. I think this is one of the best modern horror movies. I said a couple of weeks ago, this is going to be the movie that kind of defines a decade, defines a period of movies. I think it'll always be iconic. I can ring off loads of movies from the 80s, 90s that have had an impact and people still talk about them. I think this is going to be one of those movies. I think it's got a massive fan base. I'm a big fan of Ari Aster. And yeah, this is one of the scariest movies I've seen. It's so creepy. It's so unsettling. And this is, like I said about that scene where you've got the woman standing in the corner of the room. There's so many scenes in this movie that let you decide when you're going to be scared.
Yeah.
And it doesn't rely too much on jump scares. It relies on those unsettling tones.
Yep.
I'm a huge fan of this movie. I go back to it a few times. And I traumatized my girlfriend with this one. She was terrified watching this movie. Shit your pants all day.
Shit your pants. No.
Yeah.
I do like this film. Okay, we put this in overrated movies.
No, you put it in overrated, not me.
Okay, it was my overrated pick. And I said I don't dislike the film. I think it's a good film. I just don't understand the love, but I do think that it is scary. I just think the film as a whole is a bit problematic. But with the scene that I love in it, and I think it's, for me, it's horror 101, is when she comes back from her mother's funeral and she's in the bedroom. No, she's in a workshop and she sees her mother in the shadows. I don't think she's smiling. It's just in the shadows. I can't remember now. And she's looking and she's like, and she can't, obviously you can see it's there. It's not like a trick of the eyes.
Yeah.
But then until she puts the light on, she's like, oh, it must be a trick of the eyes. That to me is far better than any jump scare. I absolutely love moments like that.
And what it does great as well is it gives you, like, Ari Aster's just brilliant at coming up with really like unsettling scenes. That bit in the treehouse at the end where she's floating and she's got like a wire around her neck and she's just doing that. It's so the imagery of that is so horrifying. That the last 10 minutes of this movie is nightmare, if you will.
I would say it's brutal. The end is with the head coming off. I wouldn't say it's scary, but I do like the movie, and I do think it's a scary movie. I would put it in Brown Pants. Definitely worth Brown Pants. But yeah, it is a good horror film. Do you know what I forgot to put?
I love Midsummer as well. I think that movie's underrated. People hate that movie. Loads of people hate it.
I don't like it.
I think I even prefer it to Hereditary. I love that. I love cults, and it's such a colourful, vibrant movie, but still terrifying.
I love cult films as well, but I was very disappointed. It was building and building and building, and it kind of, the end was just like, all right, okay.
Yeah, you just didn't understand it, I suppose.
Trevor McTrev says, gotta hate Hereditary. The main woman is so annoying. Look, I don't hate it, but it is an overrated movie, in my opinion. Eli Cotter says, Hereditary is shit your pants all day.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. That's our tier. That was a good one. I enjoyed that.
It was. I thought I didn't realize how many were going to go and shit your pants, because from the top of my head, if someone asks me what are the scariest movies you've ever seen, I usually reel off about 4, and it's either of the 2 Conjuring movies, the first 2, Insidious, Woman in Black, and Paranormal Activity 3. I'd say those are the 4 movies I always go to. And if someone wants a recommendation, if someone said, give me a scary movie, a movie that's going to make me shit my pants.
Yeah.
They're my go-to.
So the ones in shit your pants are Woman in Black, Others, Descent, It Follows, Hell House, Exorcist, Insidious, Shining, Sinister, Conjuring, Sixth Sense, Blair Witch, Host, Conjuring 2, and Hereditary. Yeah, that's pretty good recommendations, I think. Who says
a lot of them are your picks, Jenks.
But I have to say, you're a bit of a shit putting Babadook in Casper. Come on.
No, hey, Jenks, come on.
You're a bit of a shit.
This podcast is built on controversial opinions, specifically from you. I'm allowed one controversial opinion, okay?
Who says The Ring, when first read, was absolutely terrifying. Yeah, definitely.
It's another film ruined by Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Another horror movie ruined.
Trevor McTrev says Hereditary, Sinister, Conjuring, Insidious, all the same. Not my thing. I think I'm a character guy. Ghosts are whatever. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough, pal. I mean, I like a good character movie, and I like my horror movies with a lot of character. I like watching a movie, and I like pulling characters from it. Someone who's iconic, someone who stands out.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, I love to escape in these ghost movies that don't need much substance. They just need to be scary, and I always get a kick out of these movies. I love going to the cinema. I love being scared. But I would pick slashers over these any day. I would pick Tarantino movies over these any day, character-driven movies. Yeah. But yeah, you can't be. They're popcorn movies. You can't be chucking them on and being scared.
The thing is, right? There's a place for everything. Like,
yeah,
I don't.
But there's not a place for Babadook.
look. I always say I don't like trashy movies, but some would say Evil Dead's a trashy movie, especially the first one, or even Return of the Living Dead. Right? There's a place for everything. Okay.
Do you mean classy, not trashy? You said classy, yeah.
Trashy. There's even a place for jump scares. Okay, like I know there's a lot of cheap shots these days, but there's a place for everything, and that's what I love about horror. It's broader than people think. Like, you know, my wife now, for example, she likes horror, but she wouldn't watch a zombie film if you paid her. She cannot stand.
Yeah.
I stuck on Evil Dead 2 for her. She's like, what is this shit? But she loves The Conjuring. You know, it's pretty broad. Yeah.
Do you know, I'll say, right, we didn't have it on the list, but probably the scariest scene I've ever seen, right, and the scene that got the biggest reaction out of me, and it's Insidious 3, and it's probably the last 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Everything is settled, everything's been done, and Elise is back home, she's in her bedroom, and I think she's folding some clothes, just relaxing. And we now know something's going to happen because the film hasn't finished. Why are we watching her in her bedroom, right? And the dog starts barking at something at the door, and nothing jumps out to you, right? And nothing screams, jumps at the screen. It does afterwards, but it takes you a few seconds to realize that there's a face in the door, in the darkness, and you can just about see it. And oh my God, you're the first time I seen that, I could have cried. And tears in my eyes, Jenks.
Yeah.
And then they chuck in the cheap shot where lipstick face flies on the screen.
Yeah, that's shit.
Yeah, that was shit.
What were they thinking killing off her? Oh my God. What a stupid idea.
It's the Saw thing all over again.
Yeah.
And they're like, right, we're going to have to do prequels now because people have connected to this character and they want to see more of her.
Yeah.
So many times they've done this. They've killed off main characters. And the problem is they don't know how iconic this character is going to be. They're just there on set making a movie and, oh, this is a good twist. What if it goes in his body and then kills Elise?
Yeah.
But it was probably a good idea when they made the movie, but people obviously didn't realize how much people would,
And
fall in love with this character.
I think we saw as well. I thought, oh, make it 3 films. That's more than enough. And I'm like, and some executive must have said 3. I think 10. Yeah.
yeah.
I was talking to my daughter. I was saying about Saw films. She goes, I haven't seen many Saws. I said, well, Saw 1 and 2 and 10 are really good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are shit. So in general, it's a shit franchise. It's a vast majority of shit.
Let me read a few comments. John says, I do think Nicholson is scarier than any of the ghosts in The Shining. Absolutely. His unhinged performance in that one is unmatched. Once he flips that switch in The Shining, I wouldn't say he's scarier than the old woman in the bath. But he is terrifying.
Yeah.
Trevi says, but the Martyrs is scarier than these, right? So the Martyrs is scary, very unsettling, very horrible. I wouldn't quite say it's scarier, but it's probably better than 90% of the movies on this list. I'll agree with you. I'm a huge fan of Martyrs. The skinning in that movie is horrific. Just pure muscle, no skin. I don't know if you've seen that one, Jenks. The original
I haven't.
French one.
I've got a bit of a, I don't know, a phobia of skinning people. That's one of my worst things I've seen on screen. Even in Dread, you see a quick glimpse of her skinning somebody. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, the pain. Oh, my God.
I wonder if someone skinned you, would they still know you're ginger? They'd be like, oh, look, Ginge.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Would they know just even by my bones? Oh, this guy was ginger.
John says the orphanage has the best jump scare with the woman getting hit by the car.
Oh, yeah, and then such a good makeup with the fucking face is fucked up.
Yeah, and then also the scene where they're all creeping, coming closer and closer.
Yes, it's great.
Ben says, I'm not going to lie, I love all the Saws, to be honest. Well, you're a trashy guy, Ben.
Yeah. Shall we wrap it up, Kurt? We've been doing this for an hour and a half, and it's late. Guys, thanks for jumping on. We had a ball again. I love doing TES. Mainly because it's really easy.
Yeah, no prep. I don't care. We don't have to talk in detail about the movie.
No.
We can just talk about how they made us feel.
Yes.
And I enjoy doing that.
Guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't joined our membership tier, become one of the Twisted Knights. It's only 99 cents. There's only one tier. We've decided to just have one tier, and we got lots of stuff on there. And we are promised we're going to be doing live exclusive live shows soon for our tier members, and we're just coming up with a theme at the moment. Still working on it, but it's coming soon. But thanks for jumping on, guys. Thanks for all the comments.
Cheers all again. You're all awesome. Thanks for jumping on, guys, and sitting through an hour and a half of us two talking shit.
Yes.
We appreciate you so much. And don't forget, guys, if you do like interacting with people and talking about horror movies in general, we do have a Facebook page. It's a private group. We haven't got that many people in there. It's a small community of people who just all like the same thing. Jump on, guys. Just type in Twisted Locker on Facebook. Join the group. And I'm very active on there. A lot of people in the chat today are very active on there, and we just talk shit about.
We just review films, and we also people share their collections of horror DVDs and stuff, physical media. Yeah, it's cool. Right, we'll see. Are you? I can't remember if you're away on Wednesday or not.
I am. I can't do Wednesday or Sunday next week.
Well, that's disgusting.
Or Tuesday. I can't even do Tuesday either.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, we'll keep you posted. Right, guys, we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.